This week we start looking together at each of the elements of the fruit of the Spirit in turn. And as in Galatians 5, we start today with love. I love my wife. I love my children. I love my family members and my friends. I love the people who are part of our church family. But sometimes all of these people really wind me up. Partly that's because I'm a grumpy so-and-so, and partly it's other people's fault, doing and saying silly things which aggravate me. I love all of these people, but I don't always like them. I'm sure you can sympathise when someone who you live with does that one thing which they know really annoys you, whether it's putting the loo roll on the wrong way round, or leaving their dirty clothes on the floor, or dirty dishes unwashed next to the sink, leaving the door open when they've gone outside and it's freezing cold. And it's not always better when they don't live with you either. They don't call you when you want them to. They do call you when it's not convenient. They make decisions that you know are absolutely bonkers. And they don't seek your advice. And when you give them your advice, they don't heed it. The truth is that sometimes the people that we love do things that make us feel like we don't really like them very much. For me, fortunately, that usually passes quite quickly. But I don't think we have to like people all the time in order to love them all the time. The world we live in would have us believe that love and like are very similar, that to love someone is simply to like them an awful lot. In our world, there is often a good dose of lust thrown into the definition of love as well. In our culture, the word love is used to describe a powerful emotion. Really strong like. But the way that the Bible talks about love is different. Let me read to you one of the most well-known passages about love. It says, "Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonour others, it is not self-seeking, it's not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails." That sounds like hard work, doesn't it? To love someone, to do all those things, to be patient and kind and forgiving and all the rest, to protect and trust and hope. You have to work hard to do all those things. But as a definition of love, what none of those things are is an emotion. This great passage on what love is, it doesn't describe a feeling. It describes the nature of a decision, a commitment, a choice. Love is a choice. I choose to love, not because I really like you, not because you make me feel butterflies, but because God has called me to love. And so even when other people do things which make us not like them very much, we can still commit ourselves to loving them, to being patient and kind and all the rest. Love is not an emotion that you have no control over. Love is something that we choose. Jesus says the greatest love is to lay down your life for your friends. That's not an emotion either, is it? It's an action. It's a deliberate self-sacrifice for the sake of others. Some years ago, I preached a sermon on this, on love, it not being an emotion but a decision. And I distinctly remember that one lady in the congregation afterwards, she came to me full of concern. She was worried because she thought that love without emotion was dry. She worried for my relationship with my wife. What was our love for each other like if there was no emotion, no passion, no feeling? Surely that sort of love is a horrible thing to have. And I had to assure her that I have both passion and love in my marriage. But because love is not a feeling, it remains even when our feelings fail us. Even when we don't like someone very much because they're really annoying us, love can still remain. Love is stronger and more steadfast than any feeling. Love is devotion, commitment, working for and looking to the needs of the one you love before your own, even when they annoy you, even when you don't like them very much. This patient, kind, generous, humble, honourable, selfless, calm, forgiving, truthful, protecting, trusting, hopeful and tenacious love which we are called to is more powerful and far more reliable than any emotion. And because of that, as the passage says, true love of which the love of God to us is the greatest example, really will never fail. I wonder who God is calling you to love today, this week, to commit that kind of self-sacrificing relationship with.